Hello, my name is Mildred Towns. I'm the host and life coach of Let's Be Real About It. It's a talk show, and this show is where we can be true and we can be real about life issues. We can speak about the traumatic and devastating things that have occurred in our lives or that may be occurring right now at this present time. We will talk with people from all races, all cultures, all religions, all nationalities, because hurt, pain, devastation, and traumatic experience has the ability to affect us all. It doesn't care. It crosses boundaries. It has no respect to person. So nobody is exempt from it. So it's time that we face the truth. It's time that we be real about the truth. It's time that we face life and stop passing the buck, as it say, or the buck, as it say. It's time to stop pointing the finger. It's time to be real. It's time to be real about what's happening in your life. It's time to be real about the issues in your life, because I know you, like me, want to be delivered and want to be set free and healed. And this is your opportunity. So let's be real about life. Let's be real about what's happening in your life. Let's be real about the life situations. God bless. Hello and welcome to Let's Be Real About It, where we're real about real life issues. I am your host, Mildred Towns. Our disclaimer is that this is a no holds barred zone. Therefore, some of the contents of the show may be offensive to some, but that is not the intent of the show. But before I introduce my guest, I want to introduce you to my book, My Closet Secrets Reveal Truth. Y'all, order this book. It's my life story. If you ever want to know anything about me, the good, the bad, the ugly, this is the place where you're going to find it. You can read all about my life story. Well, it's not my whole story, but you can read a lot of the things that I did in my past that brought me to this point right here, to being saved and full of the Holy Ghost. So make sure that you order my book. Before I bring my guest on, I want to introduce you to my sponsors, J&K Style Grill.
What up, y'all? It's your boy back on stage. We here at J&K Style and Grill with my main man.
J&K Style Grill, home of the original waffle burger, stuffed wings, and Philly steak egg roll.
The food was amazing, man. I'm talking about collard green stuffed chicken, mac and cheese stuffed chicken, waffle burger with the special sauce. Come on, man. What are you doing if you ain't eating here? You're wasting your life.
Pull up.
J&K Style Grill, you can copy the style,
but never the spec.
We got it.
We got it.
If Let's Be Real About It has been a blessing to you and you have enjoyed watching the show, I want you to really consider becoming a sponsor of the show. If you got books, you can call me and we can air your book. But you can send donations to my Cash App, which is $ Mildred Towns. If God laid on your heart to be a sponsor, because we're looking for sponsors. So please, for 2022, think about becoming a sponsor and send donations to $ Mildred Towns. I'm excited tonight to introduce my guest tonight, Bernard Hurd.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Hey.
Hey, Mildred.
Hi, Bernard.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. The title of the show for tonight is 12 Steps of Recovery. You all may remember Bernard. He's been on, I don't know how many times we did from step 1 to step 7. Tonight we're doing 8, 9, and 10. So, and you may remember him from being a guest on the show. He was a guest on the show last May, and his title was No Longer Slave to Drugs and Alcohol. So, Bernard, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. I'm Bernard. I'm an alcoholic addict. Currently not using. Thank God. Thanks to this program. I'm a dad, and I'm retired, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this life. this is who I am right now, chilling. Good life, good life. Yeah.
So we know that steps 89 are concerned with personal relationships. So step 8 says that I made a list of all persons that I had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. So in part of this recovery, making a list of all the persons that we have. Now, how hard was that for you?
It wasn't very hard for me. At at the point where I got to this, and realized what was going on as a result of these steps and some of the things that I had experienced, I knew that I had to do this to free myself from some of the damage that I did to the people around me. You know, my family, friends, jobs. You know, it had a direct my alcoholism. It had a direct effect on me and all of the people around me. So, following these steps, I had to go back and do this. So I had to do just what it said: make a list. You know, of all the people that I thought I had harmed. You know, or hurt. You know, my mom. You know, all the things I took her through. As a result of this program, before she passed away, you know, I got to tell her how sorry I was, you know, and I also got to tell her that I was clean and that I was sober, you know, before she left here, which was a blessing, you know. When I got my first year chip, she was there. She flew like 2,500 miles, and we got to laugh and smile about it. You know, I got to thank her for having my back. You know what I mean?
You know, that's what mothers do. Mothers will go out of their way for their child now. Anything concerning their child, that mother will go out of her way.
Yeah, she was instrumental. She was there for me the whole time. You know, when she realized that, you know, what I was going through wasn't an ignorance. It was a disease. It was a sickness, you know. And she went to Al-Anon meetings and learned what I was going through, you know, as a parent. And once she learned that, she learned how not to give me the ability to sneak one in on her, you know. She knew about my addiction, and I couldn't catch, you know. She always caught me in lies because now she knew what I was going through, you know. So, you know, we got to look back on that. We got to laugh about it and cry about it and the whole thing, you know. And before she left here, you know, I got to tell her that I was okay, you know. And that was one of my motivations. Once I got clean, that was one of my biggest motivations to stay clean, you know? Yeah. So, yeah.
Let me ask you, in the reopening of your emotion, and what I love about step 8 and 9, well, I love all the steps, but with steps 8, 9, and 10, it's something that we can live every day. But let me ask you this: how painful was it in reopening emotional wounds and some that was old, some perhaps forgotten, and some that you may have been still painfully festering at that time? How bad was it for you to make amends, or to even just make the list and to even consider, do I really want to make not that you really want to make amends to these people, but is that how bad was, let me just leave it at that, in reopening the emotions?
Well, you know, looking back on some of the things, for instance, the absence of my kids in my life, and vice versa. You know, that was one of the most painful things, probably, that I went through. During my addiction, you know, I let that pain elevate my alcoholism. You know, trying to destroy the pain. Once I, you know, as a result of that, I was separated from some of my kids during that time period. Thank God today, as a result of this, you know, I got to go back and I got to talk to them, you know, and form a new relationship with them, you know, as grown men and women, you know, and I got to do just what this says, you know. They were some of the people that were on my list, you know. It was my very own children, you know. The fact that their father wasn't around at a point in their life, you know, that was painful, you know. And even though God blessed me through all of this to be able to have a job, I mean, through all of that, you know, I worked for General Motors for years, and it was high through most of it, you know, and had kids, and even though I was a functioning alcoholic and addict, you know, my actions, my direct actions, I do believe, took me away from my kids. That was the most painful part of my addiction. Fortunately, you know, I was able to provide for my family, even at a distance, you know. But the pain was horrible. Once I found out some of the things that led me to do some of the things that I did, it became less painful over the years, especially when I came to the clarity of this program. You know, yeah, that's the most painful thing, you know, that I can think of, being separated from my kids. You know, I love my kids more than anything. So yeah, that was from early, you know, when I had my first son, and well, me and his mom, we split up. It devastated me, you know. Yeah, so that's the most painful thing I probably ever went through. You
Well, we
know.
have a question. Deborah wants to know, how hard is it to recognize, to have to ask for forgiveness?
Um, well, being honest with yourself, you know, admitting your wrongs, you know, which is a part of this program. You know, I had to admit my wrongs. I didn't have anybody to blame. I wish I did, but I didn't. I didn't have anybody to blame. You know, it wasn't my mother's fault what I did. It wasn't my father's fault what I did. It was my fault. You know, as a director. You know, the choices that I made, you know. So I didn't have anybody to blame but me. So I had to stand up to that, you know.
Say,
And
for instance, like the people, like you had to go to, you made this list. And I think of this, what she asking. You had this list. You made a list of people that you had harmed, and you had to go back to these people to ask for forgiveness. Uh, can that person go over one more time to go back and ask for forgiveness? How hard is it to recognize you have to ask for forgiveness? You know, like the people you harm, to even ask for forgiveness. Like one of the worksheets, Deborah, that Joe and Charlie put together was what I did that was to ask yourself as you making this list, what I did that was harmful. One of the examples he gave was this was just an example. This is not Bernard's example. This was an example that Charlie and Joe gave. I cheated on my girlfriend. Say what I should have done instead. So what should I have done instead of cheating on my girlfriend? Been faithful or broken up with her? Who suffered as a result of this? Of me cheating? The girlfriend. Am I ready to make amends to her? Yes. How would I feel if that was me? So I guess one of the things is putting yourself in that person's place and recognize that I need to, did I do something that I need to ask forgiveness of? So that's what, making the amends list, making that list and then making the amends. Is there somebody I need to go back and ask forgiveness of? What would be your take on that, Bernard?
Well, I was in a whole different state at the time, and I was blessed to be able to go back and forth and confront some of these people that were on my list. Some of them forgave me. They knew what I was going through during that time period. I lost some family, some friends, and some of them forgave me. Some of them were still angry with me. And I had to accept that, but I still had the challenge, and it still freed me whenever I could step to somebody and tell them I was sorry, as a result of my addiction and some of the decisions that I made. Some of the decisions that I made weren't all about my addiction. Some of them were consciously made, I don't know if I can blame everything on the fact that I was high off of something. I blame it on poor decision making on my part, and everything that I did was a direct result of, who I was as a person. You know what I mean? But even these steps have made me grow even as a person. So getting into this, making direct amends to those people. I had to go do that. Family, friends. I made a list. Some of those things were two-sided. There's two sides to everything, and I was hurt. I hurt some people, but I had to step up and admit my part in this. I had no one to blame. So step
Sometimes I
nine.
guess it's hard to go to a person and ask, forgive me, and as some of the things that I was reading, you asking forgiveness for what? What was the thing that you're asking forgiveness of? So you don't have to state that. Instead of just going to a person and say, "Well, I ask you to forgive me," they're gonna let you forgive you of what? So you don't have to know. I'm coming to you, asking you for forgiveness, and I want to right my wrongs.
Yeah, my former wives, for instance, failed relationships. My part in it. You have to admit your part in it. And you free your mind, and the rest of that will follow. It's I sat down with some of my kids and did the same thing. I had nobody to blame, I explained to them about my situation and set out to be an example or try to be an example by not doing the things that harm me as a direct result of my addiction. I warned them about, some of this being hereditary, it's in the blood, be careful what you put in your mouth, I got to go back and make amends, by being an example, because I don't get high today,
Yeah.
Some of them do, but, at least they know that it's a way out, and I'm offering this to them as a way out, but this is something that you gotta want, it ain't something that somebody can just pour on you, if you want to do this, it's got to be for you. It can't be for all these other people, everything that I did once I got into this was everything I do from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, it's a direct thing on me, everything begins and ends with self, so if I want to alleviate this, the best thing I can do is not do some of these things that I used to do, So.
Yeah, and step 9 completes what was started in step 8, that we made direct amends to such people. And this is a catch to this, to make an amends whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others.
Yeah.
So that's the catch to step 8, that you ain't gonna make direct amends if it's gonna injure somebody or hurt somebody. Bringing up some stuff just so deep that or if some people can't take as the example that Charlie and them used, somebody cheating. So some things you just won't bring up. Some things you just won't, from what it said, except when to do so would injure them.
Right. Yeah.
Bring such an injury to them.
Yeah, it's not necessity, you definitely don't want to hurt or harm anyone, or vice versa, you don't want to be hurt or harmed, the point of it is, where you can, do it, some of these people you'll never see again. Some of them things that happen will never be erased in some of those other people's minds. Some of them things I don't even remember. I had people walk up on me with stories about the old days, and I was like, well, so yeah, yeah. I've had some relationships where my significant other at the time told me how bad I hurt them. I could never, I explained to them that I was sorry about what I had done or the pain that I had caused, but, at least I got to say, I apologize, to some of them, at least I got to do that,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I said, some of them forgive you and some of them don't.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
So step 10 is just a continuation to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admit it. So this is what I love about, we ain't got that much time left. What I love about step 10, when you're wrong, promptly admit it. Don't let it just, you know you're wrong in doing something, but yet you hold it back. You don't say apologize and say, I'm sorry, will you forgive me? You know, make promptly, you know, admit you're wrong.
Yeah, thinking with a clear head at this point in the steps, you recognize things a lot quicker. You know, you learn how to curb some of your wrongs. You know, like it says, you know, promptly admit it. Like, oops, you know, I did this. Hey, look, I apologize. You know,
while the person is still right there.
Yeah, some habits are hard to break. You know, 60-something-year-old habits. So, yeah.
I guess in a way, we all been guilty. You know, we all been guilty of not promptly admitting that I did it wrong. Either we could be ashamed of it or fearful of what's going to be said to us, or you know, we just don't do it.
Yeah, like they say, don't go to bed with it. You know, don't go to sleep with it. If something goes wrong during the course of your day, a lot of times you got the opportunity to say, look, my bad. You know, my fault, my bad. You know, let me take a step back. You know, this allows you to recognize with a clear head and take a step back.
Continually taking that inventory every day, taking that inventory before
you know,
what happened during my day. Is there anybody I need to apologize to? Did I say something? Did I do anything? But no, we thank you so much for being a guest on the show. And we're going to come back next month with the last 2 steps out of the 12 steps. We're coming back with the last 2 steps. And that will be 11 and 12. And we will have completed the whole 12 steps of recovery. But tell everybody how they can get in contact with you.
Oh, you want to get in touch with me? I'm at johnhurd47 at gmail.com.
All right.
Get in touch with me. That's my email to get in touch with me. Let's do step 11 and 12 next time.
Yes. And actually, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, I Heard Ministries, Saturday 4.22 guest towns. Special thanks to our viewers who watch the show nationally and internationally. And again, I just want to say, if the show have been a blessing to you, and you would like to donate something to the show to help keep the expenses of the show running, please donate to $ Mildred Towns. So we will love to hear from you. You can email me at iheartministries@gmail.com to let me know if the show has been a blessing to you. And until next month for the 12 steps, until next month, may God bless you. May God keep you. And may heaven forever shine upon you.
Tell Kevin I need some wings.
You need some wings. You want some of those stuffed wings?
Oh my God.
Until next month, y'all. Goodbye.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage. We here at J&K Style and Grill with my main man.
J&K Style Grill, home of the original waffle burger, stuffed wings, and Philly steak egg rolls.
The food was amazing, man. I'm talking about collard green stuffed chicken, mac and cheese stuffed chicken, waffle burger with the special sauce.
With the special sauce.
Come on, man. What are you doing if you ain't eating here? You're wasting your life.
Pull up.
J&K Style Grill, you can copy the style,
but never the best.
we got it.
We got it.